All right, I need everyone to please whisper. Court is calling 2021 CR 7353, State of Texas versus Ramon Brooks. Can I have the parties announced for the record for the state?
Jason Garahan, Your Honor.
Defense?
Thomas Beck for defendant.
Are you Mr. Brooks?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Brooks, I'm showing you was entitled motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, just a moment.
I'm sorry, what?
Yes.
All right. Are you the same Ramon Brooks who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2021 CR 7353 for the offense of theft from person on September 10th, 2021 for a period of 3 years? Is that you?
Yes, I am.
State?
Yes, Your Honor. Violated condition number 43 on or about the 14th day of April 2023 in Bexar County, Texas. The defendant, Ramon Brooks, did and there failed to comply with the rules or instructions of the Bexar County Community Supervision and Correction Department's duly diagnosed residential facility, and that the defendant has refused to participate in the DDRF program services in violation condition number 43.
How do you plead to that? True or not true? All right. Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 43, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, and sentence you up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine?
Yes,
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 43?
I still believe you.
All right. Is there an agreement?
Yes, there is, Your Honor.
And what is the agreement?
It is to adjudicate guilt and revoke his community supervision, sentence him to 18 months in the state jail facility.
Is that the agreement?
That is the agreement, Your Honor. We would ask for credit for time served.
All right, Mr. Brooks, you want to raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record, please.
Ramon Brooks.
All right, Mr. Brooks, why are you not participating in DDRF?
So my reason was to come back and explain to you that probation was not going to be the best for me because of my conditions outside of jail. They aren't the best of conditions as far as me being homeless and without any credentials.
Mhm.
And right now I'm working with state officials to try and get my stuff back. Fortunately, I didn't have enough time before I was revoked on probation. So I was sent back, and that's why I came back from the program to explain to you that probation there might be something else besides probation that you see.
All right, so what is your mental health diagnosis?
I'm under psychiatric medication as well. I have a history for that. So
Do you know what medications you're on or what you're taking them for?
yes,
What are you taking them for?
for anxiety, schizophrenia, I was told that I had, and those two are the main ones. Bipolar come into.
All right. So where is your family?
My family live here now. They just moved, but they came back. First, I couldn't reach them, but now I can have reach of them. So that's a good thing.
All right. So what's your relationship with your family?
My relationship, my status is a good status.
And is your family going to help you with regards to your medications and making sure that you're seeing a psychiatrist?
Yes, yes, they will.
All right. And which your family members who's here now?
My mother never met my father. Stepfather's been there since I was a child.
All right. I will tell you, state defense with regards to your agreement, this is my concern. My concern is he has mental health issues and they're not being addressed. And he's telling me that his diagnosis is schizophrenia, bipolar. And so what I'm anticipating happening is if I sentence him to 18 months, I don't know how much time he has in, but he's going to go to the state jail facility if he doesn't have his completed time done. They're going to put him. And if he doesn't take his meds at the facility, there's going to be a case that's going to be issued where they're going to have to file motions to have a judge order that he take his medications. And then he's going to be released from the state jail facility because nobody's going to hold him at the state jail facility because he's unstable. And he's going to be released back into society without his medications, without anything. And then we're going to be back here, maybe not in my court, Mr. Brooks, but maybe in somebody else's court for a new case. So I understand that he wasn't following rules at DDRF. Probation, do you know what specific rules, or does anybody know the specific rules he wasn't following at DDRF? Thank you.
I think he does qualify for safety.
Well, we're going to see what I can come up with.
Maybe. Your Honor, is stating that he needed to leave. He said that he no longer wanted to remain in the program and he was ready to do whatever it was necessary to leave.
All right. So, Mr. Brooks, it appears to the court that you are competent, but you have to look at the big picture. And it seems to the court that you're trying to take the path of least resistance, the path that's quickest for you. But I can tell you what's going to end up happening is once you get off your medication, which more likely than not you will, because you're going to be like, I'm feeling great. I don't need these medications. You're going to stop taking those. And if you commit another offense, who knows where you're going to be, who knows what it's going to be, and you may end up in prison for a long time. We just had someone here in this court for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. And you know what their problem was? The state hospital released them when they should not have released them. And now they're doing, I think, 13 or 12 years at the prison now. So in the court's eyes, you should not be just going to the state jail facility, then getting out, because you're not going to be prepared. So if you want, I can follow this agreement and send you to the 18 months, or I can see about getting you some treatment, which is what you need. You need treatment for your mental health issues. Mental health issues are just like any other issue that people have, be it cancer, be it, diabetes or whatever it may be. I don't consider people who have mental health issues, I don't consider it's their fault. It's not, oh, let me go to the grocery store. I'm going to pick up some mental health issues on aisle 4. I don't believe that, but you need help. And you're trying to take the path of least resistance, because your whole thing is, I need to get my ID. You'll be able to get your ID. You don't need your ID at DDRF. And that's where I'm sending you. You're going back there and you're going to follow through on everything. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And I'm going to keep my eye on you, because I'm going to make sure that I get updates.
Does he qualify for the same program again?
Yes, I'm going to ask that he be re-referred.
And we would certainly hope that you would not find him guilty and leave him on deferred. He's not a convicted felon.
No, I'm not going to find him guilty. You're going to go back to DDRF, okay? And here's the thing. I'm sending you back there, and I'm going to expect you to actively participate. Do you understand? If there's an issue with you and you say you're working on your ID or something of that nature, guess what? Probation has programs that can help you get your identification. But you don't need your identification at DDRF, because they know it's you, because I'm telling them it's you and you have your SIT number.
The whole reason I came back was to refuse, is because I refused the program, but it was because I didn't want to get into probation with all the problems I had outside of jail. I tried probation for the first time and I thought that it would work out, but it didn't exactly work out my way. So
no, explain. Here's the thing. You say that when you get out, you don't want to be on probation and have the issues you have on the outside, right?
yes.
If I send you to prison and you get out, you're still going to have those same issues on the outside. The only issues that's not going to be there is the supervision, which I'm not inclined to release you on probation, because you haven't done anything. You haven't been successful on this probation at all. And I'm sympathetic and empathetic to the fact that there's some mental health issues here, but it's not going to be me sympathetic and empathetic towards you and giving you something less than. You understand? So what's going to happen is I'm denying this motion. You're going back to DDRF. If there's a problem with your identification, or there's a problem with some of your living arrangements, you let us know. And probation, see if you can refer him to felony drug court as well, because I know they have dual diagnosis. And felony drug court, if they accept you, they'll be able to help you with your identification. They'll be able to help you with housing. They'll be able to help you with all of that. But I'm not going to give you the easy way out. And then guess what? If you come back and you haven't followed the court's instructions, I will hear arguments for both sides, but I will tell you the state and your counsel in all these probation cases, they come up with agreements. And sometimes I follow those agreements, sometimes I don't. But I want you to realize the agreements that they come up with, I don't have to follow. The contract you have for probation is with the court. It is not with your attorney, and it's not with the state. You understand? So I'm denying the motion. You're going back to DDRF, or either you're going to felony drug court. The end. I'm doing this to help you so that nobody will see you back in a criminal court again. All right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Brooks. So I'm going to deny the motion, altering amend conditions to referral to DDRF and felony drug court. That'll be while in custody. And I'm going to make a notation on the docket sheet that you need help with your identification. Is that it? Probation, can you let probation know that he needs help obtaining his identification? And if felony drug court accepts you, let them know that you need help obtaining your identification, and they'll make sure you get it.
And so with this, that means I'll be continuing probation, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. Thank you. All right, court is calling 2019 CR 5880, State of Texas versus Samantha Nicole Saldana. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Daniel S. Clark with the state of Texas.
Defense?
Andres Campi from the Southern.
Are you Samantha Nicole Saldana?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Samantha Nicole Saldana who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2019 CR 5880 for the offense of intoxication assault on October 28, 2020 for a period of 5 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
State?
Violated condition number 16 in Bexar County, Texas. The defendant, Samantha Nicole Saldana, did then and there fail to comply with the rules, regulations, or instructions of transdermal alcohol monitoring, in that the device was tampered with from August 13th of 2023 at 4:07 p.m. until August 14th, 2023 at 12:13 a.m. in violation of condition number 16.
Did you say August 23 or August?
August 13th, sorry, Judge, 2023.
Wait, August 13?
August 13th to August 14th.
I have that in my motion.
That's
Yeah, that was the motion that you guys did.
the violence, the first one.
This one?
Yes.
All right, it's just August 1st through August 31st.
No.
Oh, you're reading from the first violation of 16.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. Thank you. LaShawn, you were right there to say, here it is. Yes, there it is. All right, how do you plead to that? True or not true?
True, ma'am.
State?
Your Honor, the state waives all the violations.
Any objection?
No objections, Your Honor.
All right, did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 16, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, and sentence you up to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 16?
Yes.
Court will find violation of 16 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
Yes, Your Honor. Alternate amendment for 90 days of scram plus regular and random UAs and ETGs and a zero tolerance.
Yeah, I really don't do zero tolerance. Is that proposed agreement?
Yes, Your Honor, with the caveat that if there are no positive readings from the UAETGs after the 90 days, that requirement and the scram requirement be removed. I think is the.
And that's correct, Judge.
All right. And we have Neil on Zoom. Could you unmute, please? Could you raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
You can lower your hand if you'll state your name for the record.
Kiana Neal.
All right, any objections to the witness appearing by Zoom? State?
No, Your Honor.
Defense?
No, Your Honor.
All right, does anyone have any questions?
Your Honor, I think we'd spoken with the probation officer earlier, but if the board has any questions, the state would object.
All right, so probation, are you in agreement with this recommendation from both the state and the defense?
I don't know if she was present when we.
There, and that she be continued and that she be placed on scram and do sober support meetings. So what are your recommendations?
My recommendation is that she continue on SRAM and a TAP evaluation, follow any and all recs from TAP. She's eligible to get the device removed if she has 2 consecutive months of zero tempers or bracks.
All right, so somebody explain to me, what is this tampering? Was it tampered with, or is there something else going on?
So, Judge, as far as we can tell, we reached out to RMS yesterday, and what they can gather is that there's something that was going in between the sensor and they can't say what it is. We're still able to get readings from it. It can still detect some things. There was some detection of alcohol, but we can't quantify or say. It just says detected.
All right, when they say something between the device and her leg, do they mean there was material between, or is there something with the reading?
They couldn't elaborate. So the way that it was described, the way I understood it, Your Honor, was that Recovery Monitoring Solutions gets some information from a subcontracted company called AMS. And the reading that Recovery Monitoring Solutions gets is that there was a tamper with the device. They could not tell us what the quantifiable definition or criteria was to make something to be considered tampering. We tried to call AMS. AMS told us that their contract was not with the county and that they couldn't discuss it with the DA's office, but they could discuss it with Recovery Monitoring Solutions. So we went back and tried to have them set up a meeting, but we were unsuccessful in getting that done prior to this.
All right. Is there anything else from either side?
Nothing from the defense, Your Honor. We just.
All right. Thank you so much for zooming in. This is what the court is going to do. The court notes that since you were placed on probation in 2020, this is your first motion to revoke. The court is finding 16 true. Court will deny the motion. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to alter and amend conditions for continued scram until further notice. And there's going to be the UA hotline for 45 days. And make sure that there's a testing for alcohol just as a safety gap.
Yes, ma'am.
And I'm going to do 60 sober meetings in 60 days. Is there anything else from either side?
No, Your
Uh, the-
Probation?
Judge, I would like to continue and go ahead and get the tap done as well.
All right, there's going to be a TAP evaluation, follow TAP recommendations. If TAP recommends inpatient treatment, then you all can come back here and we'll address it. Probation, is there anything else?
Judge, I just want to urge the court to admonish Ms. Saldana only because we had a compliance hearing in regards to the device. And there still seems to be some type of issue there.
All right, I'm going to admonish her in just a second. Ms. Neal, is there anything else?
No, no, Your Honor.
All right, thank you so much for zooming in. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. You're welcome.
All right. All right, we're going to go off the record. Here's the thing. This is probation. You're looking at 10 years in prison. You understand? So you had better make sure that there is no more tampering with this device and state. If there's more tampering or alleged tampering with the device, what's going to end up happening is whoever is with the company that is not hired by the county, they'll need to come in and we'll have a hearing. And so the next time, or there should not be a next time, but if this were to happen again, then what's going to end up happening is I'm going to want all the parties who have anything to do with the scram equipment you're wearing to either be here in person or be here by Zoom. But you are looking at 10 years in prison. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Is there anything else?
Your Honor, the concern that I have is the service support meetings. Ms. Saldana does not have a vehicle and she does not have internet at her.
Oh, there's sober support meetings everywhere. Do you have a cell phone? I'm sure that cell phone has internet on it, does it not? No, she's saying yes, it does. So there we go. Everybody's cell phone has internet on it. How old are you?
32.
All right, she's 32. She's young. She can make it happen. There's the library. There's Via Bus. And last time I checked, I believe the library downtown, the library all over the city has internet access for people who don't have internet access. Am I incorrect on that? Where there's a will, there's a way. I always tell people, if it's important, you treat it like it's important. The most important thing for you right now should be this probation. You know why? Because you're looking at possibly 10 years in prison. You understand?
Yeah.
And who is Anthony?
He's my husband.
All right. So you've done that. There's no way to undo it unless you do a cover up. Here's my advice to people. People always want to put other people's names on their bodies. You know what the safe bet to put a name on your body? Love you, mom, your children, or yourself. Because at the end of the day, if you and Anthony, something were to happen and you get divorced and you meet somebody else, what are you going to tell that guy? Oh, that's my child. So there you go. I hope he has your name on his body.
He does.
In bolds where everybody can see it. All right, good luck to you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. All right, can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, if you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Serenity with the SERENITONTOIA.
All right, I'm going to need you to make sure you speak up so that the court reporter can hear. All right, defense.
All right, Serenity, how old are you?
I'm 18 of them.
Okay. And are you working right now?
Yes, sir.
Where?
Comfort and as a housekeeper and a laundry attendant.
Okay. What city do you live in?
720 Texas.
How do you know Michael Montoya?
Michael Montoya is my brother.
How old is he?
21.
And you know why we're here today, right?
Yes, sir.
And you've been in court with Michael through this process.
Yes.
Now, while the incident happened, you weren't at the house, is that right?
No, sir.
But did you see Michael that day or the day prior? Describe how he was.
Michael just felt like everybody was out to get him. He never wanted to go nowhere. He just felt like everybody was out to hurt him.
Did you, right before this happened, did you guys go get something to eat?
Yes,
Was
we
there-
did. Earlier that day, before all this happened, I took Michael. Me and Michael had went to Camden Express. I remember we were there, gonna order food. Then we're about to get out. He like hesitated to get out. And I asked him the reason why he was hesitant to get out the car to go eat. That we were talking to people, so then we're putting
telling them to poison his food.
I'm sorry, I can't hear what you're saying.
Telling he thought we were associating with the workers, telling them like that we're poison his food.
And just to be clear, were you doing that?
I don't know.
Right.
She can't hear.
Okay, just put it, it's okay, take a deep breath and then just enunciate and you can speak slowly, okay? Okay, just to be clear, you weren't doing that.
No, sir.
Now, tell me about Michael growing up.
He loves sport. Like me and Mike he was my best friend, my brother.
Were you,
Emotionally and mentally hard for me. I want to be here for my brother. But it's hard for me to be up here. I don't know. Like, it takes a lot for me to do this. Like, I know my brother's life is on the line.
how was he as a brother to you?
An awesome brother. He was there when I needed him. And
Would he look out for you?
yes. And I would he was always there. I don't even have to call him up. He was there.
And since this has happened, you become aware of some of the, have you become aware of some of the mental health and drug issues that Michael was having?
Yes.
Were you aware to that extent before?
Fully aware, but I didn't know. I was aware of some of his drug users, but I wasn't fully aware of every single one he did.
Right. Have you stayed in contact with him since he's been in jail? Has he expressed that he wants help?
Yes, all the time. Every time he's always asking what have we like called anybody for help, or he wants people to come talk to him. I don't know, he wants help.
Who do you live with right now?
Myself with my boyfriend.
You and your boyfriend? Once,
My own apartment.
okay, once Michael is released, now that you're aware of the extent of his issues, will you be there to support him?
Yes.
Will you make sure that he gets therapy and takes medication?
Of course.
And do your best to make sure that he's not using any drugs?
Yes.
Is there anything else that you want Judge Boyd to know before she makes a decision on Michael?
No. Just show like any leniency towards him. Like, he was awesome. Like, emotionally,
All right, so here's the issue. The court reporter cannot hear what you're saying. So I understand that this is a rough time for everyone involved and that everyone is distraught. But if the court reporter cannot hear what you're saying, then she can't take it down, which means it's just like it didn't happen. Okay? I'm sorry, you're gonna have to talk louder.
That wasn't him that hard. It's not something he would do. He doesn't mean it. He does show remorse for what he's done.
All right, thank you.
Any questions?
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you for coming.
Next, sorry.
And who's the next witness? Michelle Hernandez, can you raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right, you can lower your hand. If you'll state your name for the record and spell it, please.
Michelle Hernandez, MICHELLEHERNANDEZ,
All right, defense.
Ms. Hernandez, how old are you?
41,
Yeah, what do you do for work?
contracting work with my boyfriend.
All right, so I'm gonna need you to make sure you speak up so that the court reporter can hear.
Yes, ma'am.
You live here in San Antonio?
Yes, sir.
How do you know Michael?
He's my son.
Obviously, you know why we're here today.
Yes.
I guess around the time of this incident and when Michael was arrested, describe Michael's behavior.
Very paranoid. Just didn't trust anybody. He was always to himself.
On that day, do you know if Michael had used drugs?
Yes.
If you know, what did he use?
Marijuana and methamphetamine.
During this time period, was there anything else that, as far as Michael's behavior, that now maybe?
Just one moment. Counsel, I can't have you all talking behind the court reporter. You need to move him down to the other end. So you all can speak, Mr. States, and you all can speak in the box, but it just needs to be on that end. You may continue, counsel.
Thank you, Judge. Looking back now, that maybe red flags about his behavior.
I don't.
Did he ever come? Did he or someone ever call the police about people outside?
There was a couple of incidents when he thought there was a few, like 10 guys, he said. So he's like, we're outside trying to kill him when there was no one outside. He called the cops three times in one night.
And with those types of behaviors, obviously, Michael was using some drugs during that time.
Yes.
Now, describe Michael growing up as a child.
Very athletic, loving, caring, he's a hard worker.
Did you have problems with him?
No, none.
At the home, where is Michael's biological father?
I don't know.
Okay. Were there any issues with his biological father at the home?
There was violence with him and I.
And did Michael witness some of that?
Yes.
Did he witness alcohol abuse?
Yes.
Did he witness people using drugs?
Yes.
And would you guys always be at the same house, or sometimes you'd have to go stay with his grandmother?
Whenever his father and I'd take them to meet my mom's.
Before this, was there any traumatic events? Did he lose anyone that he was close to? His best friend?
4 years, I believe, ago. And ever since then, I've seen go a little downhill.
What about anyone in your family?
My brother, he was close to as well.
How long ago was that?
It was a year before that,
Uh,
before his best friend.
and have you stayed in contact with Michael since he's been in jail?
Every day.
Is there anything else? Or I guess let me ask you this. You brought with you a notebook here today, is that right?
Yes.
And what's in the notebook?
It's just pictures of Michael, a few of them that I have left over. I lost a lot of my things. And they're him growing up with other family members or friends.
Did we tender it to the court? With that?
Judge, I viewed it, there's no objection.
All right, the court will review that. And I know how moms are about photographs, at least how my mom is. So I'm going to review it and then I'll return it to you.
That's my next question, Judge.
Yes.
Now, look, through the years, I guess, is this the same Michael during that time period, even a few months prior? Was that the same Michael that you knew growing up? Did you notice behavioral changes? Were you aware of his mental health and the extent of his drug abuse back then?
No.
Okay. Now that you are aware, you think that he needs help.
Yes.
Has he expressed a desire to get help?
Yes.
Has he expressed remorse about what's happened?
Yes.
Is there anything else that you want Judge Boyd to know before making her decision?
Mr.
What
Brown,
was that again? Sorry, she
No,
gotta take
please,
it.
thank you for listening to.
no, thank you so much for coming in.
And the prosecutor may have some questions for you.
I just have a few questions,
Yes.
Your Honor. One, did you know the victim in this case?
Yes.
How was the victim?
He's a paper.
A good man? Didn't deserve what happened to him, is that correct?
No.
And you're not aware of your son's drug use, is that right? The extent of it, that's what.
Not the extent of it, no.
Okay. So you used methamphetamine with him that same day.
Okay.
I'll move on to that next question. The fact is that your son even admits that he used on a daily basis, that he lived with you. He used marijuana, he used meth, and he used Xanax on a daily basis.
I didn't know of him doing all of those.
And you stated he had a good childhood. I saw the photos, and that he viewed some physical violence between you and your husband,
Yes.
and some physical violence between you and your boyfriend, or boyfriend, one of your boyfriends,
Well, okay, yeah, maybe once.
maybe once. So not an extended period of time.
Yes.
Was he ever abused in the house?
No,
Sexually abused in the house?
no,
Was he ever sexually abused by anyone?
no,
Abused physically by anyone?
no.
Abused emotionally by anyone? So the only time you saw the difference in his behavior is when he started using drugs on a daily basis since the day of 18 years old.
No,
You saw behavior before that. That you
no,
mentioned yet.
I just seen the behavior change when his best friend and my brother passed away.
How old was he?
I believe he was 16.
16.
Mhm.
But he started using alcohol back in 6th grade. You're aware of that, aren't you?
No,
That's what he stated.
no.
So you're not aware of that. Where were you at during this time when he was in 6th grade and started using alcohol on a daily, or at least
He
weekly
was at my mother's house.
at your mother's house? Where were you?
I was not living with them there.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Any other questions?
No, Your Honor.
I do. A question wasn't asked, wasn't answered. Were you using meth with your son? That's either yes or no.
Yes.
All right, thank you. Any other questions? All right, defense, call your next witness.
Oh,
Can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
All right, if you could state your name for the record.
With Philip Charles Jr.
All right, Defense?
Thank you. Mr. Charles, how old are you?
40 years old.
And do you work?
Yes.
What do you do for work?
I'm a subcontractor, residential homes.
All right. How do you know Michael?
I've known him from his mother. We've been dating for 4 years.
And so you've known Michael about 4 years?
Yes.
All right. You know why we're here today?
Yes.
And you were actually there when the incident happened.
Correct.
And I think the prosecutor asked, so I'll ask you, I mean, was there, you weren't being attacked or anything? There wasn't,
No.
to your knowledge, there was no reason for Michael to do that?
No.
Around that time period, either that day or even a few days prior, did you notice any behavior issues or red flags about Michael?
He became distant from me and his mother. He would leave with his sister and the boyfriend, and he'll come back and tell us like they're acting weird, as if they were planning something, plotting something against him. And then whenever he would leave with them, vice versa, he would tell them about us plotting something against him. He just thought everybody was against him. He was very insecure with everything. People kind of expressed he thought we were tied with them to poison their food. And
Was that the incident that Serenity was
that's
talking about?
that was the same day. That's what I thought.
Okay. I mean, when he wasn't like that though, what type of person was Michael?
He was Michael. He was great. He was loving, caring, asking everybody for help or if they need help, asking me. He went on several jobs, at least over 10 jobs with me working.
So the Michael that day where the incident happened, was the Michael that you had seen, or did that shock you?
It's not, Michael wasn't himself that day. That day he wanted to leave that day. I talked to him into staying. I've given him a schedule throughout the following week, and we got back to work. And we were real bonded that he always distanced himself from me, as if I was against him or if I didn't like him. Then I'll talk to him and realize like I'm here for him, I'm here for the family. I love Michael. He's like my child.
Is there anything else that you want Judge Boyd to know about Michael before she makes a decision?
That day, Michael wasn't himself. I hear him on the phone now, and that's Michael. Very kind-hearted and always looking out for others. And that day when it happened, he made a comment to me saying, "You didn't tell me to do it. You didn't." And from that moment, I was upset with him, thinking that what would make you think I would tell anything like that? That's with my friends. It's just, I was so confused. I was lost. I started yelling at him like, at the scene. I was very upset and lost, confused. And I didn't know what was going on. It was mine. Me and his mother been trying to figure that out this past year.
Thank you. The prosecutor may have some questions for you.
Yes, Sean. Thank you. Mr. Charles, I just want to clarify, you knew the victim and that he worked on other jobs for you, or worked with you. Okay.
Yes, sir.
And so, no, sorry. And the fact is that particular day, he was not threatening to you. He didn't try to hit you that you saw. He didn't try to attack the defendant in this case, Mr. Michael Montoya.
No, that Mayor.
Yes.
Prior to that, they were outside. But 15, 20 minutes prior to that, they were outside talking, and then I tried to butt in their conversation as they're both Michael's family, Paul, my friend, and they were just ignoring me because they're having a good time. They were laughing, and I just look at y'all and I walked inside.
In fact, in these ring cameras, you're aware of the ring camera videos that were supplied by the homeowner in this case.
Yes.
You can see the three of y'all standing out there, and they at least a cigarette or something smoking that was passed around. Is that right?
That is correct.
And what was that?
That was a blunt.
What?
A blunt?
What?
Marijuana blunt.
Okay, so marijuana.
Yes.
And so prior to that, nothing had happened. Nothing transpired between the defendant and the victim. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
And when y'all went into the house, you left the house, and then the defendant, Michael Montoya, shot at the victim 3 different times. You're aware of that?
That is correct.
That's incorrect.
I was in the same room when Michael shot Paul.
So were you watching it happen?
Negative. No, sir.
So you were turned around?
I was kneeled down into a file cabinet.
So you were there when it happened.
Yes.
And what happened after that? After he was shot?
Couldn't get up at that very moment. When I was able to actually stand up, I turn around. I see like a tunnel vision. Michael on the other side of the doorway. I never saw Paul. And I saw Michael with the handgun not facing at me, or he just had it tilted downwards.
Mhm.
Like if he didn't know, he didn't have no response to what he did at that moment. I was terrified. I didn't know what was going through his head when he started hearing, Michael, what did you do? Michael. And he snapped out of it, and then he realized he had the gun in his hand. And, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? I said, put the gun down. And then it was a 5-gallon bucket. Down when we put it down, and that's when I charged him, and I saw Paul on the side of the doorway folded up.
And then you're the one that called the police, is that correct?
His mother.
His mother called the police. And then you waited for the police there, is that correct?
We both did.
Well, but Michael did.
Michael
And
came back.
I'm sorry,
But came back.
right. You're aware of his drug use though?
Yes.
I mean, that night you smoked marijuana. wasn't it?
Yes, I did smoke marijuana.
Are you aware of his other illicit drugs like Xanax?
I'm aware we tried not to any type of other drug than that. I didn't prove any of that. I didn't.
Well, you're aware of the meth use, obviously.
Yes, I'm aware of it.
And you're aware of the marijuana, you're aware of alcohol use.
The marijuana, I did smoke.
I'm not working on that, but you're aware he used it quite a bit.
I don't know about quite a bit, but yes, I did use it.
Can you describe to the judge the demeanor of Michael when he was on meth?
If he was on meth or marijuana or sober, he was still the same in my perspective, but his thought process, if it was negative, it would be like 10 times worse, or if it was positive, it would be 10 times as positive. It would just enhance of the mood he was in.
What I'm trying to get to is the fact is you see a marked difference in his attitude now. Is that right? When you talk on the telephone?
Yes.
So he's not on drugs now.
He's on anxiety.
Well, I'm sorry. He's not on meth. Okay. And he's not smoking marijuana, right?
Correct.
Okay. So there's a difference between him being where he voluntarily goes out and does Xanax, that's not prescribed to him. When he does meth, that's not prescribed to him. When he does marijuana, when it's not prescribed to him. When he's out in the world doing all these drugs, he's a different type of person.
Yes.
And now he's a different person because he's not on all those drugs.
That is true. None of us understood his medical condition that we believe that he has now. And I'm no doctor whatnot, but I feel that he used that to help him cope. And I've been incarcerated. The reason I'm saying that is for the technique. I understood about myself by getting help from the system. They put me into rehab, and I understand a lot about myself from there and whatnot. I just believe he just needs.
Thank you. No further questions, Your Honor.
Nothing further.
All right, thank you. Defense, call your next witness.
Dr. John Matthew Fabian, I believe he's present via Zoom.
Yes. Good morning. Court is calling 2024 CR 1655, State of Texas versus Gabriel Longoria. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Hank Wilkins for the state.
Defense?
James Seelaw for the defendant. I was appointed in September of 2022.
All right. And are you Gabriel Longoria? Counsel, have you received all the discovery? Did you review it with your client?
Yes, I have.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Longoria, did you review the document entitled True Bill of Indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it? Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, I do.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
We are.
Mr. Longoria, did you review the document entitled Court Admonishments and Defendants Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places? Did you understand you're charged with driving while intoxicated third or more? That's a third-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand? If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand? Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent? Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights? Yes. Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case? Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, he has.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I believe he does.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, he was.
Mr. Longoria, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter the plea? Anyone promised you anything other than the plea? Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented? Are you a U.S. citizen? Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it? According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at 5 years in the prison. There's a $5,000 fine to be probated. State recommends community supervision. There's the DWI intervention course, VIP panel, 2-year driver license suspension, and ignition interlock for half the term. Did you understand that to be the plea? Defense? State?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places? Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand? Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, there hasn't. I would like to speak before sentencing, if for a
Yes.
brief moment.
All right, outside the agreement, the state is asking that your community supervision be for a term of 5 years. There be a TAP evaluation and 250 hours community service restitution. Did you understand those were recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations? Then to the offenses charge, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? State any evidence.
File for State's Exhibit 1 in the attachments.
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, you may continue to confer, state. Mr. Longoria, did you review the document entitled Waiver and Consent to Stipulation of Testimony and Stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it in all the appropriate places? Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent? Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand? Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence State's Exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. After reviewing State's Exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor. We
Anything
waive
you-
PSI.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Your Honor, I was appointed, yes, I was appointed on this case in September 2022. We've been in contact with each other. He has not had any alcohol since his arrest. He's been in house arrest. I've tried to file motions to lift certain things over the last 2 years, and we never had a hearing on it, but he has no violation whatsoever on pretrial. He was under house arrest and has not drank anything. So I asked the court to take that into consideration in assessing, well, we probated the fine, but keep that in mind as far as interlock for 18 months or whatever it has to be. But he's been, I think he's going to be a good probationer. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. Do you have any children?
No, Your Honor.
Who do you live with?
Currently my mother.
Okay. All right. The court is going to sentence you to 5 years in the prison, suspended and probated for 5 years. There's a $5,000 fine to be probated. There's going to be the DWI intervention course, victim impact panel live, 2 years driver's license suspension, ignition interlock for half the term, proof of employment within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. I'm going to order 250 hours of community service restitution, and I'm going to order 120 sober meetings in 120 days. Once those are completed, the court will deem the community service hours satisfied. There should be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. There's to be random UAs, a TAP evaluation out of custody. And if TAP evaluation recommends inpatient treatment, we'll start with intensive outpatient treatment. If they recommend no treatment, then we'll start with supportive treatment. There's going to be field visits 1 time per month for 60 days, and then at probation's discretion. And I'll do a referral to felony drug court. There's to be 10 days in the Bexar County Jail. Would you like to address that? It's statutory.
How much time have you spent prior to getting released in this case? When you were arrested?
I was in there 3 days.
3 days. Like
All
3
right.
days.
So this is what I'll do. I'll do 30 more days on GPS.
Okay.
And then that will be for partial. You'll be allowed to seek employment.
Your Honor, he works for the VA at home. And you have that job now?
Correct.
And you've had it for the last 3 years. Now, I don't know if that's a home health care issue. Is that home health care?
I'm a clerk with the VA.
All right. So that's fine if he's
Okay.
the clerk. I just don't allow them
I just want to.
to be in employment where they're taking care of patients or anything of that nature. All right, since that's at home, here's what I can do. I can give you 30 days partial GPS, or I can give you 15 days of GPS and it's full. All right. So in lieu of the 10 days at the Bexar County Jail as a condition, the court will order GPS full for 15 days.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Is there anything else with regards to sentencing?
And you're gonna lick this for good. How old are you?
All right. Is
About
there
time.
anything else you would need from the court? Probation, is there anything else he needs? Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, we can go off the record. This is your third DWI. That's why you're in felony courts. You're one of those people who cannot drink alcohol at all. And when you drive and you're intoxicated, you could end up killing somebody. Usually the person who's driving intoxicated, they're just fine. So don't be in somebody's court crying in tears because you killed somebody. You understand? All right, good luck to you, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you very much. for
You're
your
welcome.
question.
Thank you, Mr. Seeloff. Who's here on Noah Nellum?
Present, Judge.